All right. Well, a lot of business groups and some Republicans are having problems with the president's new emission requirements and want to get them really slapped down in the years to come. So he may be facing stiff resistance here on those new rules, but he has a receptive audience over the United Nations. The Secretary General there, Ban Ki-moon, on the wires right now saying the Obama administration's power plant rule shows that the United States can change the world in fighting climate change. He goes on to say the United States has set a good example for the world, and it would be wise for the world to follow. Energy CEO Robert Murray does not quite see it that way. He is suing over these new EPA rules. He says they've already cost his company alone a couple of thousand jobs, the whole industry itself, tens of thousands of jobs. He joins me right now. Robert, the UN loves this, though. Are you out of step with the UN?
No, I'm not out of step with reality. The United Nations is out of step with reality. The Clean Power Plan of the Obama administration, Neil, is a tragedy for America. First of all, CO2 is not even a pollutant. Secondly, he's eliminating reliable, available, low-cost electricity in America for virtually no environmental benefit. People on fixed incomes are not going to be able to pay their electric bills. Manufacturers of products for the global marketplace are not going to be able to compete. I call it a political power grab of America's power grid.
Were you surprised, Robert, that he did this in the face of that Supreme Court decision that effectively said to the EPA, you've got to factor in the cost of business of the rules you're imposing? And then he announces, or that is the agency announces, far more sweeping rules on cutting back on emissions by some 32% by the year 2030. What did you make of that?
You are correct, sir. He has increased the amount of carbon dioxide reduction. Mr. Obama has been gaming it, Neil, from the very beginning. We won the Mercury or Utility Act June 29th before the United States Supreme Court. Our same arguments are in this Clean Power Plan. But what happened, Neil, is they set the time frame. They compressed the time frames so that 411 4-cent a kilowatt hour coal-fired plants were closed before the Supreme Court heard our case. So we won, but we won nothing. He's gaming it again on the Clean Power Plan by compressing this time frame to where the states and the utilities have to comply by 16.
All right, now, Robert, you would argue that your plants are certainly a lot cleaner than they used to be, and coal itself is a much cleaner fuel than it used to be. I think what the administration is saying, Robert, is not clean enough. CO2 levels are still dangerously high. What do you say to that?
I say that that is not the issue at all. This man wants to transform America in an evil, diabolical way. If you want to change America, get control of the availability, the reliability, the cost of electricity, and you've got America. Has nothing to do with the environment, sir. This is
well, to what
his
end,
legacy.
Robert, if you charge that, and you're not the first one who said that, but to what end? What does he get? Because he is saying, look, if they're telling the American people, guys like you, that utility bills, energy costs are going through the roof, take a look at what's going on with oil, take a look at what's been happening to commodities, take a look at what's been going on with coal, and it's been just the opposite. Things are going down. Where is this fiendish plot to jack up prices? What do you say?
I say that this president, you are correct, is more interested in his radical legacy than he is in the destruction.
Yeah, but I didn't say that, Robert. No, what I said is he argues just the opposite of what you said, that energy prices are coming down, that they're not a problem right now, that if all of this was such an onerous situation for consumers, they'd have certainly seen it pop up in energy-related costs, and they are down. So that is the wind at his back. You say it's a temporary wind or what?
Yes, it's temporary, Neil. Electric rates, according to the Clean Power Plan, will go up over 30% immediately by 2020. The 14 states will have double-digit electricity cost increases by 2017. It's an absolute tragedy. Electric rates are going to go just the other way. He's benefited from the oil and the gas developments in the country during his administration. He's been very fortunate. But that will change with this Clean Power Plan as he destroys his 4-cent a kilowatt hour electricity in favor of his 22 cent a kilowatt wind and solar that gets $24.
So just to be clear, you're saying it's only a matter of time, Mr. President, before this is going to happen. You might not see it now. We've got, a commodity route going on now that includes the likes of coal and so much of the other stuff. And that even if prices go up and fees and a lot of the rates that go up as a result, we will still be down. You say what?
That is correct. In fact, you're going to see it as close as 2017.
Well, no. What I said is they say that even with the changes they're imposing, utility rates will still be lower than they were before and because of what's been going on.
That is nonsense.
Okay.
It can't be. It's absolute nonsense. The electric utilities in the PJM interconnection, 13 states, 65 million people, have doubled the cost of electricity that they sell themselves in the PJM interconnection for 2017.
I didn't understand what you said there, but it sounds like a brilliant insight that essentially the administration is trying to own your industry, and you don't like it, right?
I think they're trying to own America. I think they're trying to destroy our freedoms, and the destruction of my employees, the coal industry, low-cost electricity is the beginning of his ideological mission.
Do you ever find it? No, I wish I had more time. I remember you're a great guest as always. But Robert, it isn't. Your industry's been laying off people. The energy industry's been laying off. Natural gas. They've been laying off. The oil services guys, Baker Hughes, Halliburton, planning a merger. 27,000 jobs lost there. I don't notice any investigations on Capitol Hill that look into this precipitous drop in prices as if it was a cabal, like they were doing when prices were going up. Do you feel that the oil industry, the coal industry, the traditional fossil fuel industry is like a Rodney Dangerfield that gets no respect?
Yes, that is correct. Every coal company in the United States is in financial trouble. Obama said in 2008 when he was elected, I will bankrupt you. He's making good on that. Only 2 coal companies are going to survive the way they are by the end of 2016. He's accomplishing his goal, but it's a tragedy because he's eliminating the 4-cent a kilowatt hour electricity and trying to introduce 22-cent a kilowatt hour wind and solar. And that won't work for America. It's going to be a tragedy. People are going to get cold in the dark. Neil?
Wow. All right, Robert, thank you. And I tell you, I know you've been concerned about this for quite some time. We shall see. But again, for those of you who are not aware of what's going on, the backstory here, the administration has now imposed sweeping new rules to be led by the EPA to dramatically cut down on plant emissions to the point that by the year 2030, they should be, and by law better be, 30-some-odd% lower than where they are right now. And if not, there will be hell to pay. And Mr. Murray is right. There already is. We'll have more after this.